Yo, what's up, guys? It's KB. Thanks for tuning in to another video here on the Outside the Box Podcast YouTube channel. If you like the content you're seeing from us here, be sure to smash that like button, click the bell icon so you don't miss out on any future videos, leave a comment down below, and don't forget, hit that subscribe button. And now let's get into another original video here on the Outside the Box Podcast YouTube channel.
Welcome back into episode 2 of Outside the Box College Podcast. We are still working with the name. We'll figure something out. If you find out something good for us, hit the DMs, let us know. But this episode of Outside the Box College Podcast is powered by our friends at 47. Truly the best headwear and apparel in the game. And with their vast collection of collegiate gear, they'll make sure you're repping your favorite college lacrosse team all season long. So use our link in the description to shop with 47 and get free shipping on all orders when you join the 47 family. Just make an account as it's free and start earning points on every purchase you make and turn those points into free gear. Again, use our link in the description to shop with 47 and get free shipping on all orders when you join the 47 family. Shout out to 47 for being our proud partner of OTB and the official headwear partner of Underground Industries. While you're here, we want to make sure that you subscribe to the podcast on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts at Outside the Box Podcast. Also, check out Underground Industries as a whole at Underground Industries on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. But on Twitter, it is U Industries. That's going to get you everything Outside the Box College, but also Outside the Box and everything else under the Underground Industries umbrella. And then obviously you got to follow my man across from me who's been doing this thing for quite some time. It is the Hoots. He's doing his thing at Hoots Media, Hoots Sports Media. Man, I'm getting bad at this.
0 for 2. 0 for 2.
It's okay. I'm going to get it right on the third one. Third time the charm. Hoots Sports Media across all platforms. And then obviously you can follow me on Twitter at SCS_NextGreat. I will be changing my Instagram name relatively soon to Uncle Deej. So you can start to find me on Instagram at Uncle Deej. And then there you can get really to all of my other socials from those two sites. So make sure you're following us there. Once again, follow the pod on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere, OTB and that will get you all things happening here on OTB College, but also our pro show, OTB Laxpod as a whole. Last week was a week, I guess. Half the teams played, half the teams didn't. And I guess this is one of those places that, one of those times that it pays off to be a northern team. Because most of the teams up here have adapted to having to deal with the weather and have indoor facilities. So when the weather goes bad, they have somewhere to play. You know, Ohio State played, Syracuse played, Michigan played. They all just transitioned to another place and played indoors. I mean, I can't tell anybody down south that they should build an indoor facility because it's going to be cold and it's going to snow because they're not going to believe me. And that's facts. They probably shouldn't, because how often does it snow down there? But, well, it happened. And maybe that's the problem with having games at the end of January. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Hoots, talk to us. How are you, sir?
Still fighting a virus, so that's been fun. I went into the weekend with 4 games to shoot. 1 got canceled. Only shot 3, so I was at least a little bit thankful for that. Watched the dominant Denver performance and dominant Mammoth performance to cap off the night. So all around,
yeah, your Saturday was
it was a good Saturday, for sure. And
that's
then
awesome, man.
Got to watch some MCLA ball Sunday, which wasn't bad. So beautiful weather both days as well. It was like 50s and 60s, sunny. Didn't need a jacket or anything. It was awesome. So I know some places had snow and whatever, but I can't complain about the weather.
Dude, that's awesome. I mean, I could complain about the weather all day long. It has been freezing here. Actually, no, we had 27 straight days below freezing.
Wow.
And like 10 of those days were below zero. Like it's been brick here. Awful.
That's wild.
Also tons of snow.
We've had snow like twice, and that's about it.
Yeah, tons of snow too. Like it's been bad. And I live an hour off of Lake Michigan, so we get a ton of lake effect snow that just dumps on us. It's not fun here sometimes. But yeah, my weekend actually ended up being pretty solid. It started off Friday night when Michigan walked in that trap of Breslin Center, took that thing over. Yes, sir, 12-point win. Couldn't believe it happened. I mean, it was so much fun to watch. Jeremy Fears is an interesting fellow. I like his game. Like when he just plays basketball, he's a very good player. When he does all the SGA foul baiting stuff, I'm not here for it, man. It's not what basketball is about. He also did some other dirty stuff, kind of tripped some people and pushed some people and some other wild things that are not really meant to happen on a basketball court. But hey, Michigan got out of there with a win, so I was happy. Then the lacrosse team turned around Saturday and, well, really took care of business at my alma mater as well. They ended up playing over at Swede family facility over at Adrian indoor facility. But, yeah, they took care of business. Big big victory for the boys. So I'm extremely happy with that. But that's not the only games that happened this weekend. A lot more. Where do you want to start?
I mean, that Rutgers Jacksonville game going to OT is pretty exciting. If you want to go there.
I mean, yeah, we can definitely start there. I'd say that was my Riverside game of the week. And I said, this is one to look out for. And first off, we can 100% say they had no problems playing down in sunny Florida. That was not going to be a concern at all. But right from the beginning, this was a game that you could see was two teams that are very similar to each other and were teams that are going to be competitive with each other. I mean, 4-3 in the first quarter, then 3-1. So, I mean, Rutgers had a little bit of an advantage at halftime, but there's one thing that John Galloway has been good for the last couple of years is making adjustments at halftime. They made those adjustments at halftime, and then they were able to come out and make this a game, and that's how we ended up in overtime. And Rutgers just does what Rutgers does. They're silent killers sometimes, and they got guys that can go out and create for themselves and score buckets. And there we are, game time. That's all you need. All you need in overtime is one bucket. You don't got to score a bunch of them like you have to do in the regular game. You just got to get the ball, call a timeout, draw up your play for your guy, get a bucket. Done. And that's exactly what Rutgers did. It was great execution. That's the bigger thing, though. You can draw up anything, but you got to go out and execute it, too. And they were able to go out and execute at that moment, put it away, bang, done. I loved it.
Yeah, and this was like, if you look at the scoring summary, it really was just a game of runs. Outside of a couple of goals, it was 3-goal runs. It was a 2-goal run. Like you said, Jacksonville in the third with a 4-goal run to go up by 1. And then obviously Rutgers had the 3-goal run kind of late, which is kind of what you want to see. Like you said, when there's two evenly matched teams, like that's exciting lacrosse. And then you get to overtime where it's literally you just need one. Like all of a sudden those runs don't mean anything, and it's 0-0 again. So it proves Rutgers to 2-0, which is good for them. Jacksonville drops to 0-2, which sucks, but I would still feel good about, if I'm Jacksonville, I still feel good about where we are because, it's a 1-goal loss in overtime. That could have easily bounced your way. Unfortunately, it didn't, but one of the more exciting games, I would say, too. Like, you look at the rest of the scores, and some of them are pretty lopsided. So I was excited to see.
I mean, I wanted to touch on this. I mean, 21 turnovers for Jacksonville, but only 7 of them were caused by Rutgers. So, like, that, that's a big point for them moving forward. Like, a lot of unforced turnovers there. And then you got 19 turnovers for Rutgers, but 12 of them were caused by Jacksonville. So their defense looks great, first off. They're picking up 37 ground balls, 12 caused turnovers. I mean, they gave up 49 shots, but only gave up 11 goals. Like, I like what I see. Only 2 extra man ops. Like, this is a clean game. They won 14 faceoffs. Jacksonville did. Like, they did kind of everything right, but scoring enough goals. They could clean up their turnovers a little bit, but other than that, they played a phenomenal game. Just gave up one too many goals. You know, Colin Curdile went for 4. Colin Kelly, Colin Zeller, both had 2. Hayden Sommer had 1 as well for Rutgers. So, I mean, this game was in their hands. Jacksonville had it, and they let it slip away. So, like, for me, I think this is a great boost for Jacksonville. Yeah, you're sitting at 0-2, but if you're able to learn from this game, you can take this and kind of catapult in front of a few other teams, because you're right there with a team that is now ranked, but is a slightly better than you simply because of the history they have and the conference they're in. All of that kind of matters a little bit. But using that as a boost is really a great opportunity for them.
Yeah. Actually, I need to pull up the standings too to see kind of how that stuff shifted this weekend too. But yeah, that's why I was saying, like, it's literally the difference of the ball bouncing a different way one time, pretty much. I mean, I know 0-2 looks bad on paper, but like you said, I mean, you had 17 saves in this game. I feel pretty good about that. Like you said, shots and shots on goal, nearly identical. They were great clearing the ball. They hustled for ground balls. Like, it's, you know, it kind of feels like the Roughnecks to me, where it's like they're losing games, but it's not like bad losses. It all feels like there's good progress. So I wouldn't be shocked to see him pick up a couple of wins here kind of quickly. But, you know, just let one slip away.
Yeah, I mean, these are the ones that sting later on in the years, the early ones, because it's like that's your opportunity, especially like these teams that aren't like in the power conferences. I would say power is probably ACC, Ivy, and Big Ten. Like, those are your power conferences there. Like, if you're not in one of those, it's like you got to kind of make these stick. Like, you had a chance to beat a Big Ten team. You had them on the ropes and you let it go. Like, that's a tough loss. Like, it doesn't help that you lost in overtime a little bit, because it shows that you can play at that level, but a win there means so much more to you. These, you know, lower tier conference teams have to be able to go out and win a couple of those games in that position. Now, I'm not saying they should win all of those games or like they should be competitive in all of those games, but if you find yourself competitive in one of those games, make sure you win it, because that's going to be huge for you down the line. Whereas that also could be the same reason why you get cut out down the line if you're not able to win that game.
Ten out of 10, no notes.
Do you want to head over to the Dome? I don't know if that's where you were going next, but I was able to watch this game.
Were you?
Yeah, I was able to watch this game. It was on ESPN.
I know our guy Brian's at least happy that the hypothetical I put them in, I guess, didn't pan out, and Syracuse got the dub.
Yeah, Syracuse did get the dub, but it was shaky. I don't know how much you know about what happened in this game.
I saw some clips and whatnot, and obviously I saw the final score and all that, but was not able to watch pretty much any of it live.
Yeah, so the entire first half was really just sloppy. Like, both sides really sloppy. But Syracuse really looked like they had no idea what to do with the 10-man at all. They turned it over so many times in the 10-man for like things that like last year seemed trivial. Like, they would have never turned it over in that situation. They knew exactly what to do, how to handle it, and would make teams pay for that. And they couldn't figure it out. That was really weird to me. But they also had just like really common first game jitter type mistakes too. So it was a really sloppy game. And I thought same thing for like Boston. Like, you're already ranked. You already have a little bit of respect based off of how you've been playing the last couple of years. You got Syracuse on the ropes like that. Put it to their neck, dude. Make them wish that they weren't playing that bad. Make them wish that they didn't have first game jitters. Like, you got to go out there and really give them what you got, because that's a huge win. They're ranked 3rd in the country right now. You go take them off the map early in the game, yeah, that's going to be huge for you down the line. And it's just huge for you now. That momentum boost for the next couple of weeks after beating them, you feel great. You got to take advantage of these opportunities. But I really just thought the lack of success against the 10-man ride and the uncaused turnovers by Syracuse is what are glaring at me in this game. Other than I think it's Robert is his first name. Hold on, let me go to their roster real quick. If you want to comment on this at all while I'm chasing.
Yeah, I'm just looking over
roster.
like all the stats. Like, both teams going over 3 on extra man opportunities is kind of wild.
The Syracuse extra man looked very sloppy.
Like, obviously it didn't matter for them in this
so
game,
did theirs.
But yeah, like especially
not a
like
lot
you're
of
talking
opportunities.
You're talking about having Syracuse on the ropes at some point. If you're Boston, like those types of opportunities, you have to capitalize on. Especially because like that second quarter really was not. I mean, the first quarter was solid at least for you, where you're keeping the score close. But then when you get outscored by a couple goals, now you're down 3 at halftime, and then you let them come out in the third and just kind of blow you out of the water. And I mean, to go scoreless in the fourth quarter is just like, you can't. We talk about all the time on both shows now. You can't do that in any league really, and especially when you're going up against the big dogs. Like it's going to be hard to win games like that, especially when like they didn't at least from the box score. Again, I didn't watch this game, but it doesn't seem like anyone on Syracuse was really limited all that much.
Nobody was really.
I mean, not that anyone had like crazy stat lines, but I mean, Joey had 5, 2 other guys had 3, several other contributors as well. Like,
but it was weird. Like, it was weird, dude, because like their goalie had 12 saves, like, and he played unreal. He was so good, and it wasn't like all of their goals were just like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, they didn't look terrible, but they didn't look like really good either. They just looked efficient enough to win this game, even though they played sloppy.
Yeah.
So I think they know the things that they have to fix and like work on, but there are some pretty glaring issues. But it's also January, technically January. Like, so like, what can we really say about that as we're just getting into February? Like, there's still tons of time for them to address a lot. So I don't think anybody should be hitting any alarms other than they notched the first W of the year like they should have.
Yep. And it was still a 7-goal win too.
Yeah, exactly.
If they look bad in a 7-goal win, you got to feel pretty good then about any other game you play at that point, because even if you get a 2-goal win, it's like, well, we've shown we can do it already.
Exactly. 100%. And that's
and it looks like just real quick too. There's a ton of unassisted goals in that first quarter. Holy God! 4 of the 5 were unassisted.
Yes. It was
another 3 in the second.
It was all individual ball at that time. Like, and like, it's not like that's not okay. Like, it was working. It was working.
Yeah.
The simple just dodge and beat your man and score was working. And then it wasn't working, so then they adjusted. That's all. And once it came down to moving the ball a little bit more and actually getting into a team offense, the structural team defense of the Syracuse Orange is what took advantage of the game and eventually led to a few more opportunities for their offense to cash in. But a game I wish I could have watched, but there was no stream. And I'm going to actually get on the phone with somebody at my alma mater about that, because why do we not have any type of setup in there to be streaming things and put it on the YouTube like we stream everything else? That would have been great. You know how many people would have watched that and then seen the great things that we do with Adrian College Television, let's go. Let's go. I'm an alumni that cares very much, so I will be putting in calls/emails about that. Because I would have loved to have watched this 24-2 shellacking of Mercyhurst by the hands of the Wolverines. I mean, I'm not super hype about it, if I'm being honest. Like, to me, this just means, okay, Michigan may be a good team again this year. That's all this means, is because they went out and handled business against an inferior team. They did what they were supposed to do. Okay, does that really mean you're competing with other teams of your caliber? We are yet to see. There's a lot of talent that left this team. There's still a lot of talent that's here as well. But I don't know what to think of it at the moment because, it's Mercyhurst. I know, well, I will say the leading scorers for this team and Luke Shanahan, Alex Lobel, Nick Rude, and Bo Lockwood. That's who the four, those four are the top four. You have Shanahan's your number one midfielder, then you have Lobel, Rude, and Lockwood who are playing attack for you. And then you got a bunch of contributions after that, a 1 goal apiece behind it. But okay, your top 4 guys are scoring. That's what you want to see, but how good is your team really? How many shots did your goalie see in this game? Hunter saw 10 shots. He made 8 saves. Gave up 2 goals. The backup saw 2 shots and saved them. I mean, I know how good Hunter Taylor is. Hunter Taylor's good. We just saw him last year. I have a lot of trust in Hunter Taylor. But there's new pieces on this team. I would like to see them against at least a mid-major. See, yeah, like this Army game on February 21st, that's when I'll actually be like, okay, I feel a little bit better about this team and I have a better picture of what this team will be. But this is just a check mark of we did our job. We beat an inferior team by a lot because we were supposed to.
Yeah, that's all I was going to say or add was just it's hard to take much away from it because, like you said, you're supposed to do this. So it's one thing to be like, hey, it's good that they did it, I guess. And, and it wasn't like it was only a 6-goal game. It was a 22-goal game. So awesome. And the numbers obviously are going to look awesome too. But
the only bad thing is, and I don't even know if you really want to call it a bad thing, is they surrendered the first goal of the game.
Yeah.
So maybe they weren't really ready. And then they score and they went, all right, I'm about to play for real.
Uh-huh.
And then ripped off 24 straight. And then
if finally, you look when they first scored that goal, and then when the next goal was.
Yeah, exactly.
They scored what, 5 goals in a matter of under 5 minutes to end that first quarter.
Yeah, and then it was from there. It was just donezo.
It's literally like that meme with the dude sitting forward. It's like they saw that first goal in.
Yeah.
Go in, and all of a sudden they're like, all right, we got to start playing.
Yeah, and then they ripped off 14 straight.
Yep.
They score another one, and then they ripped off another 10. Yeah. I don't know what to say about that. That doesn't really work on either side.
Yeah, wow. 5+ goals in every quarter.
Yeah. They play very well. That's all you can ask for. And as a Michigan fan, I think they did their job of going out and beating an inferior team by a lot.
Yep.
What I feel like there's one more game we had outside of what happened out west.
Johns Hopkins.
Yes.
And then Duke was obviously today as well, if we want to touch on that. But
yeah, we can actually start with Duke. Sure.
I mean, basically the same story as the Michigan game, just with a few more goals let in.
Yeah, but also ACC Network. No score bug on the game? No score bug on the game. That's a new one. That's a new one. I understand not having broadcasters. You might not be able to find anybody to do play-by-play, especially because lacrosse is not as common as other sports. Cool. Maybe you only got one camera angle because you only got one camera person. Cool. But you got a producer, so how you ain't got a score bug, my G? Like, that's mandatory. Without a score bug, we don't get a clock. We don't get a score. We don't know the quarter. We just watching. Guessing. You want me to keep track myself? You putting a lot of trust in me and my math skills. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how you feel about keeping track of yourself or what's going on when you watching the stream.
My problem is I probably wouldn't start keeping track at the beginning, thinking it's just a glitch. And then I would not know how many we're at already and not be able to tell what the score is.
Exactly. And you know what I'm not going to do? Go all the way back.
I'm not rewinding it.
Thank you. I'm not rewinding it to figure out where I'm at. No. Not happening. Absolutely not. So now I'm just watching and have no clue what's going on until the end. And probably still don't know what's going on at the end.
Yep.
Not cool. Not cool. I was not a fan of that. Also not a fan of the NCAA website not having times for any of the games. I do not understand what that is about. Yeah, I didn't realize
anything to show that this is the regular season. You know, would be nice if we could treat this like it's an actual sport. But
yeah, that's crazy to me that they don't have like I can understand maybe not having stats because maybe there isn't someone who's like taking the time to like go through and copy and do all the stat stuff. Cool. But the least you can do when you are putting the schedule in for these games is put the time in because it's on all of their websites. That is so easy to do. That is so easy to do. And at this point, it's just lazy and not fair to lacrosse fans who are trying to figure out a simple way to find everything they need. You could probably get away with that with other sports because they have ESPN and Bleacher Report and this and that to go to and find all the things they're looking for. Lacrosse doesn't really have a centralized place to find anything. So it would be amazing if the NCAA decided to centralize that information and give us a central spot to find streams and find stats and find times to find games and news and anything else we want to know about lacrosse, because that college lacrosse, I think that's fairly simple to ask. But I'm also not over there. I don't know what's happening inside of the building. I don't know what all goes into that, so I can only complain so much. But I also feel like they got plenty of time and money to figure that out, or at least pay somebody to figure it out. They want to pay me to figure it out, I surely will. I am available. Sort of. I'd have to look into that.
I mean, hey, if the schools can get it all up on their website, why can't we get it on the NCAA website? Is all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And it's I'm not saying they have to go in depth and tell us every single thing, but it would be nice to know who the top scorers are in each game. Give us like how many goals were scored in each quarter. I would like to see that type of information. Just like it's like those little things that I just think could make it better. And it's weird because like some of the games, like it shows like when the goals were scored and that type of thing and who scored them, but you can't see like unless you count them, you can't tell how many goals a guy scored or how many assists they had or whatever else. Like, just give us something. Even if you click on like the actual box score part, it just has zeros in it, and then at the end it has the final score. Like, especially when they're scheduling a lot of these games at the same times, you can't watch them all at the same time unless you have some type of multi-view system. Like, I don't think it's asking too much. All I'm saying.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like these are all ways that help grow the game and also make it easier for those who are already invested in the game and make us feel like we are a sport in your eyes. Like we see what you do for other sports, so we would also like that treatment because we deserve it as a sport. Are you really going to not acknowledge us as a sport because of what? Like that's insane to me. So I am in 100% agreement with you. This this Hopkins game is starting to really point out at me, They kind of seem like a two-trick pony at the moment.
How so?
Hunter Chauvet goes for 6, Matt Collison goes for 5. That's 11 of their 17. And everybody else cashed in for 1. And if you watch the game, it was a lot of Hunter Chauvet and Matt Collison.
That's actually kind of wild. Especially in a game like this where you're blowing the team out, you'd kind of expect other guys to step up.
But they were never really like blowing them out. That's part of the reason why Chauvet and Collison have 6 and 5.
I mean, it was 5-1 after the first quarter, 9-1 after 2.
That's not really a blowout. You know how quickly a team can come back from 8?
No, I'm not saying you got to put in backups, but I'm saying you would think that when you're up 8, up 4, at some point you'd have a third, scorer that would have 2 goals.
Yeah, but the other guys couldn't find the net consistently, or
then again,
or couldn't get
Chuck
free
Rawson
from
had
their
4
matchups.
assists.
Yeah. There's stuff like that, but also guys like couldn't get away from their matchups and like find the back of the net. They had opportunities, they just couldn't finish them. So like, I'm just saying, like, are those guys going to be able to step up and play to that level to where they don't have to score 5 and 6 goals apiece for them to have success?
You're saying they're going to be a Jeff T. Rob Hellier situation going on.
That's what it's looking like right now. And at least last year they had Russell Melendez and a few other guys who would contribute here and there. Like that, it matters. When you only got 2 guys who are shouldering that heavy of a load, it starts to bear. And they're going into the Big Ten. There are multiple good defenders in the Big Ten. So what are you going to do when they pull the both of them and lock them down? And who else is going to step up and score a goal for you? Who's going to create for you and make sure that you guys are getting on the board and make them respect the other parts of your team and maybe create more opportunities for those two? As of right now, you didn't do that against RMU, with respect to RMU, who came out and played very well in this game for, the beginning of the year and going up against an opponent that came out and was, for the most part, ready to play. But Hopkins has to be ready for the Big Ten, and the offense looked a little shaky, in my opinion. I also watched this game. I happened to watch this game during work today. So if any of my bosses were listening, sorry.
He's lying. He didn't do any of that. Don't put that on the record, dog.
I mean, it's pretty cool. I was working.
He said it doesn't matter.
I was working. Like I was actively working. I was typing. I got to write articles, man. I was writing while watching this game. So like I was actively working. They can check the timestamps. So I'm not upset with that.
Also, I love seeing like the shot totals of these blowout games.
Right.
'Cause not just like total shots, but shots on goal as well. It's just like such a huge disparity. It's just hilarious to see. It's like total week 0 activities.
Speaking of week 0 and blowouts and those kind of activities, I think you saw a blowout this weekend.
Yeah, it actually probably should have been more, but the fourth quarter, the Pios just kind of held the ball.
Time for the Hoots sideline report. What did you see in that game?
Well, I mean, just like we said with Michigan, they did what they were supposed to do against Cleveland State. Hard to take much from it other than it's a win, and that's how you want to start your year. Excuse me. Cody Malosky literally, I think, only played one half and had 4 points. Again, I recognize that this is not a high-level opponent, but the game just looks so easy to him that, like, I know it's going to get more difficult once they play good teams, but it's kind of like if he can just kind of be in that flow state all year, like, he's going to have an incredible year. Chase Bruno also really good in this game with 5 points. They kind of, I couldn't tell if they put in like a third line at one point, but they definitely were rotating guys in, just like getting everybody run. Because they had, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different goal scorers in this one on 20 goals. So they definitely spread the wealth towards the end of the game. And yeah, I don't know. It's like I said, it's hard to take a ton away from it because it's just like a scheduled W, if you will. But I know there's a lot of questions around them since they lost a lot of pieces as well. So from that perspective, they look pretty good. And I think if they can just continue to build on it, they'll be pretty good down the stretch. But yeah, like I'm looking at some of these names. I'm like, I can't even say half of these names, which I guess is a good problem to have.
Yeah, that's a great problem to have. It means you're going to have to learn some names, and those guys, will be guys you'll be shooting in the future for sure. Because if they're here to take care of business, then they'll be in the right spot when the right time comes along. You also saw another game this weekend. I'm not sure how that one turned out at all.
It was not very good for Denver Club. I can say that much. I don't have the final score, but it was I think it was 13-5 actually. Now that I say it, they played Air Force. I'll give Air Force Club some credit. They're pretty good. Their goalie was, I thought, again, game 1, like whatever, but he was locked in, to be honest. They moved the ball well. They got several good shooters. I thought that they can they don't have to rely on one or two guys, it seemed like. And you could just tell, like, just being around Denver's team, that, like, it's an early season game that they just weren't quite ready for. Usually, like, they would have played Friday night and had a warm-up game before you go play Air Force, because Air Force every year, at least in the MCLA, is pretty – I mean, I guess and not the normal team is good too every year. So, it would have been nice to see that first game to kind of see how they can warm up and then go play Air Force. But overall, like, I felt like a lot of the reason they lost this game was just that it was all little things. They didn't play horribly. They got a lot of really good shots. But like I said, I felt like they were kind of telegraphed to a degree to where their goalie didn't have to do anything crazy. Like, it was just kind of in that flow state. But, I mean, they battled. Defensively, probably could have been a little bit more locked in. But, I mean, I'm saying everything their coach told them to. Like, it was just one of those first game jitters. Lots of new guys as well this year from last year from what I saw. So, kind of the tale of two different days there at Peter Barton, but I have no doubt they'll, bounce back in some way.
Well, that's going to roll us right into next week, which next week looks a lot different. Week one is not week 0, let me tell you. Hopefully, a lot more of these games happen, and we're not dealing with more weather scenarios. But what are some games you're looking forward to this weekend?
I can tell you, if I can get out of this game that I have to click 17 buttons to get out of. Okay, here we go. And this is kind of an interesting week too, because we got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But starting on Friday, Duke, Utah piques my interest after Utah's win last week against Delaware. Now, obviously, Duke just had a big win, so I think this will be a much more evenly matched game for both those teams. Let me check. Holy cow, there's a lot of games on Friday. Oh, my goodness.
No,
Saturday, rather, excuse me.
Yeah.
I'll be at Denver Air Force. That's always fun because it's an in-state rivalry. You see what else. Nova Penn State should be fun. Army Rutgers as well. Johns Hopkins Georgetown, which, I mean, Georgetown didn't play last week because obviously their game got canceled. So we'll see how they fare. Unfortunately, Cleveland State has to go play Ohio State. So prayers up for them. Yeah, I mean, I'm just keeping it real. There's a ton of games. I didn't even realize there's this many games. Holy.
Yeah, Nova, Penn State, Air Force, Denver, Tufts and Dartmouth, Richmond, my boys. My Spiders getting back in business against Robert Morris. They're supposed to play Terps last week. That game is supposed to be getting rescheduled. I don't know if you brought up Jacksonville, North Carolina, or Syracuse, St. Joseph. Obviously, I'm going to bring up Marquette and Michigan. That's always a great matchup. Marquette always throws some of their best out at the boys in blue. And then Sunday, Virginia gets their start. They're going to play first game of the year against Colgate. Who did Colgate lose to? Who did they play last week? I'm going to go see.
Let's find out.
Penn State, 18-14.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember talking about that because they had upset them, recently.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Virginia and Colgate. And then Michigan back in battle on Tuesday against Mercy, who lost to Ohio State. And then Townsend and Hopkins, another ranked matchup. 4 p.m. ESPNU on next Tuesday, the 10th.
How are you seeing the times?
I'm on ESPN.
Oh, that's smart.
For D1. But then for D2 and D3, I have to bounce back over to NCAA.
I was like, all these things still say TBA.
Yeah. Speaking of D2, I'm going to pop and look at that Tampa score. Tampa beat Newberry 15-12. Oh, Lees McRae lost by 1.
In OT, our boys.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good start to the year, I guess.
Hey,
losing in OT.
It's a positive start to Junior's coaching debut. I'll take it.
Embry Riddle also beat Flagler in OT by the same score, 8-7. Tampa beat Florida Tech 10-6. Lewis dominated Northwood 23-9.
Holy cow.
Coker beat Barton 11-10. So
there's a couple big upsets there. 21-6 as well.
Yeah, that's solid work from D2 this weekend.
Yeah.
Great job, fellas. Let's see what Salisbury took down Eastern today, 19-6. Shocker. I think Christopher Newport over Elizabethtown, 17-4. Oh my God.
27-10?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
They beat LaGrange 27-10. They weren't worried about anything there.
Wow. That's like a goal every 3 minutes.
I'm not trying to go to March. I hate when it does that. Oh, they were only game. Okay. So, yeah, that's all that happened for D3 last week. I don't know what they have coming up this week, if there's anything of note. King and RPI. Salisbury and Grove City. We talked a little bit about this, actually. I remember that. Yeah, there's not a lot of good games really early on in the year. St. Vincent, shout out to my boy Diggs. They're taking on Theo. St. Vincent should realistically run through Theo. Theo is not good. No disrespect. But yeah, that's D3 doesn't really have.
Kalamazoo got a game though.
Yeah, we don't care. No, they're playing Wilmington. Kalamazoo should beat Wilmington, actually. Wilmington is not very good. Is there anything notable D2?
D2 is kind of playing all throughout the week.
Yeah, Lees McRae is back in action Friday against Palm Beach. Atlanta, maybe? Atlantic,
probably, yeah.
Yeah, probably Palm Beach, Atlantic. St. Leo against UAH. Also on Friday. Saturday, Coker and Lander. Lander, my boy Rhodes, Conroy, who I coach with in the summer, is down there coaching as grad assistant. So I'll be keeping an eye on Lander this year as they get off into battle for the first time this year. Tampa and Lenore Rhine are going to play against each other. Northwood and UIndy this weekend as well. Wingate and Florida Southern. Davenport and Maryville. Davenport's arguably one of the worst teams in the country. Walsh and Lewis. That's probably the game of the weekend. That's going to be, or outside of Tampa and Lenore Ryan, Walsh and Lewis is probably the game of the weekend. That's going to be a very good game. Lees McRae and Newberry on Monday the 9th as well. So, yeah, lots of good stuff. I'm obviously keeping my eye on all the good stuff, but waiting for these guys to play first and foremost when it comes to D3. Need these boys to play, and I'll feel a lot better. But what do you have going on this weekend? Where are you going to be on the sidelines?
Just one for me this weekend. Denver Air Force, 12 o'clock, I believe, my time. So 2 p.m. Eastern.
That's
sorry,
Saturday.
guys, I am dying. Yeah, Saturday. So should be good. Give the Piles a little bit more of a test. And I don't think Air Force has played this year yet. They have. Who do they play? I know they scrimmaged Notre Dame.
Yeah, I don't know who they played last week.
They played Lafayette. That's what it was, 13-12. So we'll see. I'm excited to see them play without Josh Yago because it'll be my first time seeing them since early last season at least. So hopefully after I shoot that game, I can kind of watch some of these other ones or beforehand or whatnot. But it's tough when there's so many games, but there's a lot of good ones too that I would like to tune into at least for a little bit if I can kind of get some eyes on some stuff. But
you brought up some good games, and that's going to take us right into our Riverside games of the week, which are powered by, you guessed it, Riverside. We made the switch to Riverside a couple of months ago as a company. It has changed our entire productivity level on its head, from enhanced audio quality in episodes, easy-to-use editing tools, including a built-in editing bay for all of our shows in the network, and the fastest way to cut clips, segments, and funny moments for all of our shows. Plus, it is an absolute bargain compared to the competitors. Use our link in the description to get your podcast, webinars, or video projects looking and sounding pristine with Riverside. Hoots, give it to me. What is your Riverside game of the week?
man, there's a lot of good candidates. But I'm gonna go with I don't want to do like a cop out because I think I picked the Maryland game last week, but I'm just really excited to see them play.
Mm-hmm.
And with their game getting canceled, with Loyola Maryland's game getting canceled, now you got both those teams playing against each other for a little in-state rivalry action. I think because of that, that's my game of the week. And if this game doesn't happen next week, they will not be my game of the week at all. I promise the listeners.
I like that. I like that philosophy. So, I mean, I'm going to keep my eye on the Tufts and Dartmouth game. Villanova, Penn State, another one I want to keep my eyes on. St. John's and NJIT. I want to keep my eyes on St. John's all year. I have a kid I've coached in some travel ball on that roster now, Brody Hergott. So I want to see if he's able to get some run and get some talk and see what he's able to do with it. So that's the team that I'll kind of be keeping an eye on. St. Joe's has been running things kind of fun the last couple of years. So their game against Syracuse will be fun. Jacksonville, North Carolina should also be a fun matchup. But the one game that I would like to, well, two games that I would really like to lock in for everybody to try and watch, even though one of them, unless you paying that penny, you ain't going to see it. Army Rutgers, which is on Big Ten Plus, 1 p.m. on Saturday. It's 18 or 12 versus 18. Army's 12, Rutgers 18. And then on ESPN Plus, 1 p.m., 15, John Hopkins headed down to number 5, Georgetown. So not too far away for them. So both of those matchups should be fantastic matchups. Neither one of them have to travel too far. And I believe three of the four played last week. So Georgetown's the only one kind of coming in with that first game handicap. So those are the games that I would really be keeping my eyes on this weekend.
Yeah, that Hopkins-Georgetown game was going to be my game of the week, but
I'm excited to see Loyola go into Maryland's trap and hopefully take it over. If y'all don't know, I'm as a residential Michigan fan, I hate almost everything Maryland. Baltimore, cool though. Jimmy Seafood, fire. Okay, I'm done with the free ad though. So yeah, y'all heard it here first. Those are the games to look forward to. Those are the ones that we have our eyes on. Those are the ones that we think are going to be great. And we'll be back again next week to talk more everything happening in the college game for OTB College Show. Make sure to subscribe to the pod everywhere. That's YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, wherever you get your podcast at OTBLacrosse. And on YouTube, it is youtube.com/OTBLacrosse. Make sure you subscribe there. And you can subscribe to Underground Sports Philadelphia, where you can get all of the normal OTB episodes. Ours will live on the OTB specific YouTube channel. And then you also have Underground Industries, which is at Underground Industries over on YouTube. You can find that same handle will lead you to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. On Twitter, it is at UIndustries. Make sure you follow the pod at OTBLacrosse across Instagram, Twitter, all other socials as well. Follow the boy Hoots Sports Media on all socials. You can follow me at SCS_next great. You can find me on Instagram soon at Uncle Deej. And then you can find all my other socials from there. We're going to get back at you guys next week. And, of course, stay cool while we get another weekend of college lacrosse. Peace.
Peace.